Sorry, I had to cut in sometime. Oh my goodness. I should really make sure to give a little test fire before I start speaking into the mic. Get those cobwebs cleaned out. Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing? Hope you're all doing good. I'm doing great, because I'm playing Fallout. I'm playing Fallout today. This is also a sponsored day of streams. Sponsored by an indie game called Dave the Diver, which I'm really excited about because it combines fishing and cooking into one game. And that's the perfect game. But this is also the perfect game. Because I'm in a creepy, weird land and I have to recruit people. You done any of the DLCs yet? No, this is the first one I've started. Oh. Oh, you got a long day of emails? I'll stick?
Maybe I'll tear it off your arm, wear it on my neck.
Well, I got a long day of streams in front of me, so I'm excited for you to join. Me? For me to join you. Let's say it that way. I'm excited to be your little email buddy.
The village comm speakers have aged poorly, like the Madre. Pre-war junk. The speakers emit a signal that'll set off your caller if you stay too long. There are damaged speakers and shielded ones. The damaged ones you can destroy at range. Don't get close. You can't switch them off like a radio.
Boy. Maybe I'll tear it off your arm, wear it on my neck.
Okay. So it's back to the creepy radios. Oh, yeah. That's an interesting mechanic. This DLC is fascinating because it's like maybe all Fallout DLCs are kind of like this, where they try to do so much with so little. Kind of what it feels like. God, I'm gonna need you to move, buddy. Well, maybe not.
Wish I had a stealth boy instead of this bear trap.
I thought I could throw these things. There we go. You gotta get the ones that say throwing. Or throwing. This DLC is the worst one. I found it painfully unfun. I've heard that sentiment echoed by a few others. I don't mind it so far. It does seem to be pretty, like, linear and contained. It's a pretty, like, self-packaged experience that even tonally is pretty different from New Vegas. Oh, right. Forgot about that. Go get him. All that time picking a weapon, popping open my backpack, perusing. What weapon has the most damage, I wonder? I must play optimally. Choose based on statistics. That probably takes away from the mood of the intended mood of the DLC. Yeah, I mean the mood is oppressive and I like the audio when it's not blasting Metal Gear Rising. Red sun over paradise. Hey, Verbose Toast. How you doing? Yeah, I'm really excited for Dave the Diver. Gotta be honest.
It's your own fault.
There's been a bumper crop of games that are like multiple genres connected together, and they're great. They're all great. More of it. Yes. Yes. I gotta play more Cult of the Lamb. That's another one of them. Where the frick? No, the beeping. The beepy beeps. There you are. Ha!
Can't believe the idiot swallowed his collar.
At least it's not like Brotherhood of Steel where the metal is just in the game. Brotherhood of Steel had randomly had Slipknot in the soundtrack. You mean the like PS2 game? Because there was no, yeah, that's what that was, right? I'm confusing it with Fallout Tactics, I think. Okay, I never played the PS2 one because the reviews were pretty bad. Man, back in the day when like this happened a couple times, there'd be just like a eye drop, just one little beep, one little shred of heat on a video game property, and it would instantly turn into this like edgelord trash bullshit. Like they tried to make dudes like it. I don't know. I'm mostly thinking of Prince of Persia. Clinic. Oh, he's away. God, just pittered on out of here. I'm back from a long. Whoa. Oh, the fuck! What?
Something needs to die.
Well, my foot cockroachers got him. Damn it!
Watch for security holograms. Dangerous. Don't shoot. Attacking them.
Security holograms. So now we got. Now we for real have enemies that you can't attack. It's like forced stealth. Anyway. Weekend visiting my folks for a funeral. They did a 21 gun salute for the deceased, and I got a hot shell down my shirt. Oh! Make that like long red trail just burning its way down. Ugh. That's a real spicy funeral. Can't say that I've ever gotten burns at a funeral, but that doesn't make them pleasant. So hell of a weekend. I went to a music festival and got to see LCD Sound System and didn't get burned. So I had a pretty good weekend, I have to admit, all told. It's an paradise. I don't know what the top like skill check is for anything. Was Daft Punk playing? Absolutely not. They didn't play that. Although there was a wait, what? Continue. Oh, perk, right. They did play a little bit of a Daft Punk song in the middle of another one, which I thought was rad. Sleeping sounds nice. What festival was it? This Ain't No Picnic in Pasadena. Yeah, Irritated Beauty seems good. Just to kind of take the edge off of rads in this game. I've been tromping around in some very irritated places. Oh, it's not a hallway. You think NPC faces in Oblivion look better than Fallout 3 in New Vegas? I don't have much of an opinion. I tend to think they're not a huge looker. Neither are real like appealing games. I guess there's a charming fugliness in some Bethesda games. Oh yeah, isn't that a rumor? The Big Chungus is gonna be in oh shit. In Multiverses? Miss Keys' insomnia seems to have gotten worse, so we ended up ordering the new auto dock upgrades. Must have cost Sinclair a fortune. The new programs for auto docks ameliorate the effects of exhaustion. I've already spoken to the staff about side effects and dangers of prolonged use. I want to make sure that they weren't using it to pull double shifts. Sinclair asked if these codes could be downloaded into the public dispensers. The codes aren't compatible, unfortunately. He said he'd look into it. Guess his contacts at Big Mountain will be getting a call soon. Alright. Seems like there's some lore happening here. Why do I have the biggest party member?
Boy, maybe I'll tear it off your arm.
Oh. It's right there. So wait, some of them you just can't, you just have to run past it? Also, I guess the objective's on the second.
It looks like someone was experimenting.
Never mind.
Although they were doing so after the collars went off. Can't believe. idiot swallowed his collar.
Look at that. Only benefits. Also that icon for the Sierra Madre Martini is pretty great. Just a bottle with the label taped onto it. Oh, Chels, he picked up New Vegas. It's a fun ride. We had 3 workers from Puesta del Sol switching station, exposed to some unidentified airborne toxin from the ventilation system. Caused severe lung and tissue damage. Inhaled isn't the problem, it's absorbed through the skin. Researching its effects, the gas, whatever it is, may be building up in vents beneath the town. Ask the foreman to look into the source before government inspectors do. We got some gas. Hey, Javi. Collar thing reminds me of Wedlock. Wedlock? I don't think I've seen that. I haven't even heard of that. It just reminds me of, is it Total Recall or The Running Man? I think it's The Running Man. Chemical suits arrived today. They're bulky, hard to talk and move in. It was difficult to unlock the clasps once in place. Had to get one of the staff to help me out of it. I told the construction crew to keep the suits ready while working in the switching station and to be careful with them. We only have a limited number. I asked Sinclair. Sierra del Madre translates to your mother's mountains. Who doesn't think of their mom when they see a breathtaking pair of mountains? I asked Sinclair to order more in the event of a leak in the villa and prepared cost estimates for another gas leak to support my case. Didn't need to. He agreed to the request immediately, then asked if he could see the workers and make sure they were all right. Well, that's nice. He's a man who cares. Purified water. It's heavy, but it's good for me.
Can't believe the idiot swallowed his collar.
Do I play Minecraft? I don't, really. Played it a little bit. Wouldn't consider myself a professional. Oh!
Almost got away.
Scary.
Ah! Screws it up. Right.
Hey, what's up, Dr. Sinwar? You butt dialed on in, huh? Oh, he saw me. Doesn't that mean you're supposed to leave like a really long and embarrassing message? What's your favorite expansion? Assuming you played these before. I haven't. Ah!
Can't believe the idiot swallowed his collar.
So it's all new to me. Wait, fucking Christ. Oh, I can't just... Maybe I just have to use a stealth boy? I don't have one. That's right, they reset my inventory. What main story ending did you go for? I haven't finished the story yet. It was recommended to me to play the DLCs first.
Couldn't leave well enough alone.
And then go wrap up the main campaign. Okay, finally. Jeez. I really expected that there would be a quest objective in here. I'm gonna play Doom-like games in the future. Always. I'm just not sure when.
Swallowed his collar.
Codes for the public dispensers arrived today. Sinclair instructed us in their use in case of emergency. Should be able to get stims and other treatments from the machines. Sinclair indicated that it could dispense more based on the nature of the medical emergency or subject's condition. Among the codes, he kept asking if we could make sure the code for MedX was backed up. He must have said it 3 times. I don't think he realized it. Must be stress. I made a backup with the code on this terminal, just in case. Okay. Guess I can go downstairs and get MedX now. What I really need is to leave this DLC with a stack of Fixer. Here, play the Wheelman starring Vin Diesel. Yes. Absolutely. I remember that was like a Gamefly special. I got that, beat it in like 2 days and sent it back, and I was like, yeah, that was perfect.
He had swallowed his collar.
That was perfect. Thank you, Vin. Can't wait for Arc 2. Been too long since we've had a Vin Diesel video game. A Vindio game. Heck, I thought this objective was going to be on this... Is there a third floor? Get into the basement. Blah, 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 blah. Okay.
Tastes like coffee.
I went the wrong way because I didn't read the quest. Vin owns a game studio? I don't think so. He was investing in a game a while ago. Yeah, whatever, dude. I don't sweat you.
Air tastes like copper.
He was working with a game studio on like a historical simulation of something. I don't know. There was an interview where he was like just crazy dorking out about this one very specific window in history about this like seafaring group of people. I can't remember. He was like very specific. I remember having to Google it, and it was just like this one. They might have been Greeks, and they used like a very specific kind of boat to like get around. And he was just like, "Yeah, what if you could be these people on these boats and like go to these islands?" I think that was. I can't remember if that was before, after, or like right in the middle of Black Flag coming out. Yeah, Tygon Studios. There we go. That's exactly what. Yeah, okay. Oh, they helped with Fast and Furious Crossroads? Awesome. That game rules. Yeah, it's not even listed on their Wikipedia. Oh, here we go. Yeah, Barca BC. Barca BC was developed as an MMORPG. Later, the genre was changed into third-person real-time strategy. It was based on the historical Punic Wars of Hannibal Barca. The player controls Hannibal's forces during his historical campaigns against Rome. Yeah, that was it's listed as still in development. I remember that. Being like, okay, weird choice of subject, Vin, but let's see how it goes. MMO, Christ. Oh, the Kanye Angel game? That's absolute. We need that. We need all artists to make video games. Invite them in. Welcome them. We need Lady Gaga to make a video game. Welcome. And on behalf of your friends at NE, we thank you for purchasing the latest in service and security technology. If you encounter any problems, contact our urgent care service representatives at any time during the weekdays from 10 to 2 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You have 4 hours, 2 days a week. If no one is there to respond to your emergency, leave a message and one of our trained representatives will return your call in the next 3 to 4 working days. Awesome. Pop-Tart, hey, how's it going? I think it's been a while since we've caught up. How you doing? Oh, I can make stim packs now. Okay, gotta go to the basement. Had a rough couple days. The AC is fixed. New battery in the car? Oh, yeah. Nothing feels better than when...
That pit boy. Maybe I'll tear it off your arm. Wear it on your neck.
Oh, no. Oh, so many beep beep beeps. Oh, I'm fucked. Oh, no. Dog! Yeah, the second I saw that other radio as I rounded the corner. So you have to turn those off. Which probably means the stairs aren't that way. What's this other door? Oh, okay, it is another zone. If it's another zone, then why is the objective there? Wow. Frickin' Bethesda, man. Hope Todd Howard's having a fucking laugh. Hope he's laughing right now. Laughing at me. God damn you, Todd. Son of a bitch, Todd Howard. Okay. But it's still telling me to go upstairs. Whatever. Whatever.
Tastes like copper.
Supposed to be down here, I think.
Or old world gold.
It's payback for when you called him short. I implied he was short. I didn't call him short. Okay. You beat a Mori? Oh, nice. Started a second playthrough to do the other route. I've been pretty good. I've been busy. A lot of work to do.
That pit boy.
Travel and whatnot, but it's been very rewarding. I've got to spend a lot of great days and go to a lot of cool stuff with Steph, which I'm very appreciative of. Okay. Ah! She's just so natural. Okay, yeah. She's been locked in that chamber for 40 years. Breast slowly inflating the whole time. Looks like someone carved a road map across your face. She looks at you, blinks again, then opens her mouth, but nothing comes out. She touches her throat, then traces the scar, but beneath the chin, and her eyes widen in alarm. Did somebody cut your vocal cords? She looks shaken. As she glances at the auto dock, she recoils, and her mouth opens, but again, nothing comes out. She looks back at you, and her hands clench into fists, her eyes narrow, and she takes a step back, studying you. This isn't what it looks like. The woman opens her mouth again, winces, then frowns and drags a finger across her throat in slow motion. She looks more angry than pained now. Frowning, she touches her throat again, gently, then her hand brushes her collar, then her frown deepens. Her eyes narrow as she traces the edges. Yeah. She begins to press it with her fingers. That's a bomb collar. Mess with it, it'll go off. She looks surprised, then notices your collar and raises an eyebrow. Look, we can just have this not talk later. Let's go. She frowns, narrows her eyes, then slowly shakes her head. If your collar goes off, mine goes off. It's better if we guard each other. She shakes her head again and draws a line in the air between the two of you. Yeah, it's not going to work for me. She shakes her head once, then crosses her arms. I can put you back in there just as fast. But her boobs are already so huge. No person can withstand titties of that magnitude. What exactly is wrong? Don't you want out of here? She frowns, glances at the collar, looks back at you. She makes a circle with her hands, puts her hands over her eyes and squints. She nods at you, then lowers her hand from her eyes, then shakes her head. She draws a slow line between you. You're looking for something else. Fine, I can help. She studies you again, then her expression softens slightly. She shakes her head slowly, gives a silent sigh. She nods at you, then raises an eyebrow and nods towards the door. Hey, what's up, Joe? Good to see you. All right, come with me. Christine glances at your follower, shakes her head, then points at you, her, nods in the direction of the fountain. Okay, zoom, there she goes. Those buns! Christine stops, glances at the speaker, then glances at your collar, frowning. It's a decayed speaker. If we stay too long near one, it'll go off. She taps the collar and opens and closes her hand really fast. Points at your Pip-Boy, her collar, then your collar. For a second, she opens and closes her hand slower. Oh, jeez. You can interfere with the speaker's detonation frequency somehow? She's about to nod, then stops, points at herself, and shakes her head. She points at your collar, then hers, then nods at your Pip-Boy. She makes a triangle motion, then the same slow pulse as before with her fingers. Does that work with any other color? She frowns, slowly shakes her head. She opens her mouth and makes the motion of tuning a dial, then points at herself. It's just your frequency. She nods once, then again points at the two of you, then the Pip-Boy. Okay, so she makes radios go off slower. Great, how romantic. She looks puzzled for a second, then glares at you and motions to move on. Okay, she's explaining her follower perk. That's pretty cool though, and a challenge with writing for sure, to have an NPC that communicates only through like captions. Oh yeah, I forgot that forgot how jacked I am. Forgot how absolutely cool and jacked I am. That's right. I gotta play in third person more for the sheer sex appeal. He looks skinny ripped, not jacked. Yeah, that's fair. I'm skinny ripped. This may shock you, but it's actually kind of hard to find beefcake mods. You gotta really like. Sometimes you gotta piece it together. You can't throw a stick down an alleyway on nexusmods.com without hitting a big old anime tit. But you want some fucking. You want some Henry Cavill beef, and you gotta work for it. It's a little easier in some games, like at least Witcher. Like, of course, everybody wants to lick Geralt's tummy, so there's some mods for it.
Kill this one before they call others.
Joshy Fairy, thank you for the sub. Yeah, we need more beefcake rep for sure. I was kind of hoping there'd be some like sexy Spider-Man mods. I did see the Kermit the Frog mod, which I'm absolutely gonna have to use. Red sun over paradise. Red sun. Buff mod plus Dangle Dong mod. Thoughtful Eyes mod, and boom, we're good to go. I do wish there were more like floppy package mods. I want like male exotic dancer level. Like a fireman. Or an army man with like dog tags. Red sun over paradise. In our wonderful country, could a boob job become a tax write-off?
Boy, maybe I'll tear it.
So here's the justification for a business expense, in terms of entertainment, because that's the closest it's the closest path I can think of for the like purpose you're describing, where you want to get giant boobs to like film something or create a product. One, the procurement of said giant tits has to be like a requirement. Like it needs to be that for this role. Now we can all agree that that's every breast is perfect. I don't want to sound like I'm being exclusionary here or shaming any kind of body. But I think we can all agree that just massive titties are pretty much necessary in daily life. They don't have to be on a person either. That's all I'm saying. It's just the grease that makes the world go round. Coffee, giant titties. Anyway, I digress. So it has to be required for your project, and also you kind of have to prove that there's no other person that could be that. So if you're filming something that requires the biggest boobs ever, and no one on the planet has it that you need for this project, and one person can get it, and it then becomes a required business expense that person has no choice but to buy to create the product they need to make. then it could theoretically be justified as a business expense. If that makes sense. And it probably does. I'm sure it makes sense. I haven't thought about this at all.
Good. Well done. Now for the festivities and your part in all this.
I just wish massive titty didn't sag, even if it's just natural.
Whatever reason.
Yeah, we need a anti-gravity titties. Just take the weight out. Maybe a little bit. Like moon gravity.
Order for the casino doors to open as I described.
What if you could get moon titties? Where they're like 1/6 as heavy?
So get your team into position indicated on your big boy and trigger it properly. You're so close now. Don't let me down. Otherwise, I'll have to rely on the next team.
I mean, that's kind of what video game characters have. The way that they bounce and slosh, it's always like springy moon titties. Would love moon titties. Yeah, I don't know what it's like to have a woman's chest. The only way I can compare is that I just have bad posture. So I can only imagine how bad it would be if there were actually something on the front of my body dragging my shoulders forward and like my upper... I do this enough without an ample bosom. So yeah, I can only imagine. I definitely have to be more conscious of my posture. So I empathize. Let's see here. What is the gala event? Yeah, we don't really have information on this yet.
A display of lights, fireworks, music in the streets. A pre-war festival to mark the casino's opening. The bomb struck first. It is of no consequence, only firing the event is. Get the three in position, and travel to your position, reach the Salida del Sol, and trigger the gala. After that, the real work begins.
Yeah, roll those shoulders. Trying. Oh, trying. Whew.
Perhaps you think this is a simple robbery, a cheap casino heist. No, this is the heist of the centuries. We're not plundering Sierra Madre. We're plundering history, taking from the old world itself. It won't let its secrets go easily, not without a fight. I wouldn't expect anything less.
Yeah, have to mentally nag yourself to keep your back straight. For me, it's like two things. It's using my core to pull my hips forward to kind of reduce that, I guess, anterior tilt, I think is what that's called. So like rotating my hips like that, thrusting into the future. I guess step two then is rolling the shoulders back, chin back, and then like shifting my upper half over my hips now that they're in the proper position. And then like if I do that checklist, then I'm standing properly. But man, it's easy for it to slip.
I've unlocked the west and east gates to Puesta del Sol and Salida del Sol. Now that you've survived the villa, I need to get to my position. You don't need me to hold your hand anymore.
I've worked from home for 6 months, and it's definitely hard to get used to. I feel like I don't do anything, and I'm hoping my posture isn't getting worse.
I need to offer guidance.
Yeah, I think, like, working from home rules, but there is some incidental movement that just doesn't happen. Like, just, you know, walking from your car to the office, getting up to get, like, carry things around. Yeah, I noticed when I started working from home exclusively too, just a lot of incidental movement stopped happening. It was really easy to just sit still for a long amount of time.
I'd suggest taking the FEV reject to his position first. Although you may need his brutality and strength elsewhere first. As easy as the villa was to navigate, the outlying areas of the villa are far more dangerous, thicker with the ghostly, traps, and toxins. Use your team as I use you. Listen to your caller. Watch where you step. You're no use to me dead.
Oh, you work in IT, so remote was a lot more complicated than relaxing. Oh yeah, jeez. Has it... Because now you have to, like, not only maintain corporate equipment, but you can't control their environment either. And you can't even be on site to see what's going on.
Can't believe the idiot swallowed his collar.
Yeah, we'll go with dog
So,
first.
are we on our way to somewhere else? A gala event, perhaps?
I'm plenty brutal for everybody. What do you know about the gala event?
The gala event is the way to bring the old man out. He won't show himself until the casino doors are open. So triggering the event is key. And the key. The question becomes, can we trust each other to do this? We'll see. If we go there, you'll have to give me control. If you bring Dog out, then I'll make sure you pay in blood.
Interesting. Got any recommendations for Overdrift and Kung Fury-like videos? You know what's odd? It's people have tried to make stuff like that a lot, but it's rarely worth recommending. I mean, you've probably seen Hardcore Henry and like the music video that inspired it. That's kind of in that vein of just like overblown action. Shoot 'em Up. The movie Shoot 'em Up starring Clive Owen. You know anything else?
Dog might know more. You should ask him. Beware the answer, because I think Dog got hungry. He couldn't help himself. I tried. I always try, and he keeps giving in.
Any reason you're assigned this point on the map?
Maybe it's familiar, comfortable. Practice makes perfect. And as much as it bruises my ego, some things require brute strength. In the right combination. Besides, none of your assembled band of thieves look able to rip a 200-year rusted power switch down like a machete to fire up an entire town.
Oh yeah, Upgrade? It's not bad. Dread? These are pretty top-level picks that you probably heard about already. Not very dank recommendations.
You're a brave one. Sure you're ready for the answers?
Who's this old man who brought us here?
Don't play stupid. I already have to mind one child. You must have figured it out by now. The old man obsessed with the Sierra Madre, riddled with greed. Hoped you might be him when I woke up. All you are is his hand.
Hello,
You're the
C's.
same kind of greed. Followed the radio, the broadcast, and now you're here, all confused. Not for long. You'll figure it out.
Yeah, okay. Why do you say I'm the same as the old man?
You're not him any more than I'm Dog. But that collar around your neck, you're an extension of the old man's grasp. Clumsy, perhaps, but a tool, yes. And once you get acclimated to the Sierra Madre, then you'll feel the same overpowering hunger the old man does. And then you'll be him, not just his hand.
The old man, is it just like some kind of cumulative AI situation? DLC was so hard as a kid? Yeah? It's a little more constrained. And I feel like there's probably parts of it you can't just like mash buttons through, which I could see why it might be a little challenging for a kid to get through. What do you know about the old man? Saracen's Lament, thank you for the sub.
Elijah. Human. Weak like all of you are. Feeling age circling him like starved dogs, howling.
Can you make me a Doom fan art? By all means.
He reeks of age and failure.
Go for it.
And madness. To me, he is simply the old man. To Dog, he is Master. His name, meaningless. Running out of years, hopes, and
These guys like the gremlin in Gremlins 2 that drank the smart potion.
From the big
Scientist gremlin.
and scorched by the sun.
Scorched by the sun.
The old man, this Elijah, tried to hold the sun in his hands. Arrogance was cast down for it. Icarus' crime was to fly too high. Elijah wanted to bring the sun down to him. Arrogance.
What's he doing here?
Heard the call of the Sierra Madre, just like you did. Exactly the same way. Finds out it's more than a story. Comes to this shining, poisonous grail, this jewel of the desert. Dog knows him more than I do. Dog's always nodding, always obeying him, because he's weak and hungry and greedy for Master's affection.
So you're the one who knows how I got to the villa.
Of course I know. Even if I don't see it happen. Down in the cage, I hear echoes of the footfalls, the click of the collars. Every time I see one of you, I know exactly how you got here. You couldn't help yourselves, any more than Dog can help himself. You heard the voice, the promise, and then you walked right into one of the old man's traps. Then Dog comes for you, drags you here.
Reboridos, thank you very much for the prime. You brought me here to the villa.
Me? You think I want to haul bodies around the wastes like a Brahmin at the whip? No, Dog does it. When the old man says fetch, Dog fetches. You were in a man trap, and Dog made his rounds and dragged you here. When, I don't know, but it must have been recent, before the cage.
Why do you say that?
I don't remember you. That isn't surprising. What is that it was when Dog was out of his cage. Free, hungry. He knows not to eat anything he catches in the traps. After that, however, so he dragged you here. You got spared. Dog must have fed after you arrived. Once he was fed, that allowed me out of the cage and put him inside. Do you remember how long you were out?
I was unconscious the whole time.
Must have already been in the cage. Already had the collar in me. You're lucky Dog didn't devour you. Otherwise, we'd be closer than we are now.
Yeah, I guess that's good luck.
You're...
How do you switch back and forth between voices? There's a lot of writing in this DLC.
All it takes is the right command. Whenever Dog hears his master giving orders, I go back in the cage. So that leash on your wrist and the one on your neck. I won't truly be free to express myself until every trace of that voice is destroyed. Still, if you ever want to speak to me, bark my audio log at him, the one in the police station. That'll call me out.
Why does that make him go away?
Dog is afraid of me as long as the master isn't around.
Yeah, it's a great voice. No arguments. It's just kind of surprising. I guess writing is like the banner quality of this content, so you might as well provide more of it. Sure uses the word master a lot.
Habit, conditioning, it doesn't matter.
Phew. Who's this old man that brought us here?
Don't play stupid. The old man...
Yeah, there's... So you're the one... Yeah, it's like, it's... I want to know more about the man who brought us here.
The old man...
It's just the same stuff. Okay.
Heard the call. Dog...
What does Dog know?
Ask him. Or better, don't. It wouldn't be an interesting conversation. Much like this one.
Last time you said this, you wouldn't place Fallout New Vegas in your top 10 RPGs. Has that changed since? I don't think so. it's good ideas. It's just that like the mechanical layer of the game is pretty non-existent. They tried though with what they had.
If it isn't the...
All right, let's get out of here. I think this game is like, it's not a huge, I think, it's not a hot take, but this game is kind of a victim of its circumstances. Not only it's like really short dev time, but also the technological platform. It'll be interesting to see what Outer Worlds 2 is like. Because theoretically, with Outer Worlds 2, that's post-acquisition. If Microsoft really wants to invest in that as like a AAA RPG, like Outer Worlds kind of has the tone and the gameplay that of the classic sort of Obsidian / Black Isle RPGs, and it's their own property. So if Microsoft feels like investing in it, and Obsidian is sort of giving carte blanche to make it at the scope they want, then that could be ultimate. If they want to make it. They may not even want to anymore. They've been making RPGs for so long. How do you mean by its mechanical layer? It's just like, it's still a very light RPG in terms of the balancing and combat aspects. I really like that the skills and stuff are worked into skill checks a ton. Like there's a ton more skill checks in the game, which is great. That's more of a connection between the actual stats and your experience and the way you play. But even still, just like combat doesn't even have the... So this gets tricky because I'm not going to say that like Fallout 2 is a better RPG because the combat's harder. But there's just more to think about. There's more to consider. The inventory management is a little tighter. And I do think that creates a different experience. You definitely feel a lot more like you're just barely scavenging by in the wasteland in Fallout 1 and 2 than you do in a game like this. But this is like part of the circumstance. I think it's like it was meant to be a mass appeal RPG, and aspects like that typically don't mass appeal. So I get it. The definition of RPG is loose. What's your definition of RPG? The genre definition doesn't matter. I'm still talking about just like how much character build or how much playstyle actually affects what you do. Because otherwise it's Destiny, which is fine. But I think that makes it kind of like fade out of the top 10 RPG list. Like I wouldn't consider Destiny 2 an RPG, even though it has stats and leveling and stuff. Truly though, like I guess by the definitions, a game is more of an RPG if it's more like a tabletop RPG. That's kind of where it all came from.
Let's kill them, dog.
And they're called role-playing games because they like came from... Oh, shit! Shit, I'm on fire! But like Dungeons and Dragons is kind of the core of it. It's kind of the core concept. You have a character build, you declare your actions, those actions are interpreted by a mechanical system. In a tabletop scenario, it's a mechanical system plus a human that sort of interprets the data into a narrative. In a video game circumstance, it's a computer interpreting the data, as well as running the mathematical simulation. Hey! What keeps exploding? Yeah, Divinity Original Sin 2 certainly gets recommended a ton when I talk about the things that I like in RPGs, and believe me, I'm sold on it. I'm also in the middle of 3 billion games, so it's on the list for sure. Oh, they throw gas bombs. Okay. I don't know where Dog went. I'm just thinking I never finished Tales of Arise, never finished Dragon Quest 11. There's a ton of good RPGs out there. I mean, I wouldn't... The JRPG formula, ironically, falls pretty short of a strict comparison to a tabletop. Because JRPGs typically have no interactive portions of the narrative, whereas that's all tabletop is. JRPGs kind of focus on the mechanical, though, which is interesting. They like turning the actual nuts and bolts of RPG combat into a whole system. And then the story is just canned. Like, it's basically a movie or a visual novel. So you get a little radio drama in between your sort of combat scenarios, which are kind of like just mini prepackaged campaigns, if you think about it that way. It's like a puzzle. They have those too, which is really kind of the real formation of video game RPGs. The like single player campaigns you can play against yourself, or the like, what are they called? There's a series of books that are choose your own adventure, and then there's also like statistical combat in the book. So you run into like bosses and stuff, and you have to fight them doing turn-based battle with your stats and stuff like that. God damn it. This is so difficult. It's so long. I'm just gonna click randomly, I don't care. If I don't get the lore, so be it. At least I got this cool song. Oh, Edge of Eternity? I think I've seen something about that. I'm not super familiar with it though. The thing is, like, about games and genre definitions and trying to sort of nail down some things. It all devolves into trying to like be very mathematical or clinical, and one layer below that is trying to say like, okay, can we mathematize whether or not a game is good, whether or not a game is authentically a video game? I think it kind of relates to a lot of games that like represent themselves as mathematical models that hold up gameplay systems, but they're actually more illusionary than anything else. They just provide the veneer of a gameplay system, but really it's just a rolling endorphin creator. But what's the difference, really? It's fake either way. Whatever, I'll just lock it out. Who cares? Oh, no, I got one more. Ah. I thought that was close enough. Whatever. Ah. We're not done. Oh! How much of art can be a simple psychological trick until it's no longer arty? It's fair. Fair. I mean, yeah, that's a good point. Film is not real. It's just a series of still images that are flickered at you fast enough to create the illusion of video. So you could sit there and cross your arms and be like, well, a movie's just a series of fucking pictures, so... Ah! No. Gas. Yeah, at some point, you gotta let disbelief get suspended.
So here we are, a row of switches all lined up. How familiar. These switches won't move themselves, after all. There must be some trick to it. Now that I'm here, what do you expect me to do?
I have to let Dog out. Do you know how to operate the switches?
I do. The diagram there tells me what I need to know.
Do I have a guitar? No. I used to. Played guitar a lot when I was in high school. Thought it made me brooding. It was actually just really good. It was like a good way to sort of process shit. A good way to relax myself. Mustache Party. Thank you for the prime.
You're right, but trust? Trust is such a harsh word. I prefer mutual need. It's more honest. No, I can help you. These wiring diagrams. I know how to operate the switches in sequence to make fire appear in the sky. We just need to make sure that Dog doesn't surface before that happens. To do that, he'll need to be fed. That makes him stay in the cage.
What kind of food should I bring back?
Dog has torn apart a number of the inhabitants of this town. Well, he doesn't prefer them to other flesh. It'll do for the time being.
This dude is grilling me down for a hamburger.
It'll require some hunting on your part. Kill them. Take some of the remains inside them. Bring it back here. They're not easy to kill. But I have faith in you. And the beast must be fed if you want him to stay in this cage.
So, some of the meat inside them?
2 chunks of meat from their bodies should be enough.
2 chunks.
Hunt quietly.
Big Rick 2
So as
chunk.
not to draw more here.
Okay.
It's taking that human so long.
Right here, brother. As near as I can tell, after critically thinking for a long time, is that, so like if you imagine a fictional game where it's just one button and your character's just running down a path and you hit an enemy and you just hit the button until they die, they don't even attack you, or maybe they do, it doesn't matter, but all you do is stomp down this path and kill enemies, and then there's a number on screen that gets bigger every time you kill an enemy. It's like Progress Quest or like any number of weird games like that. Cookie Clicker. There's no decisions to make. The only decision is go, which is fine. Sometimes that's the only decision you want to make. There we go. Pop that leg off. Yeah. And that's still a game, but it's not an interesting game. It doesn't have to be interesting. But that's kind of the real gradient about how to choose or how to judge the like interactivity of a game, is how often do you have to make interesting or complicated decisions, and how complicated are those decisions? Games that I like make you make fairly complicated decisions fairly quickly. Or make simple decisions quickly. Like Tetris, simple decision making, where does block go and how? And then when you get better, it's like, what do I have coming up next? What kind of like build am I going for? Do I have to down stack or am I trying to up stack? Like there's things that go into it that make it more nuanced than put block in good spot. But the thing about Tetris is it makes you make those decisions faster and faster and faster until it hits about the limit of human cognition. until brains just can't go any faster or make those judgments any faster. Those are the games I like. The ones that are simple but require quick decision making that kind of make the brain spin at speeds. Rhythm games are kind of like that. Hit button at right time, but the combination of the buttons and how you make your fingers flow is where it gets complicated. So contrast that with like Bethesda RPG combat, which when it's combat time, there's no decision to make. You draw your weapon and shoot. And then you shoot at enemies until they're dead. Now you can, if you want to, like, use other weapons or experiment, but you don't really have to think about a whole lot when it comes to combat. And like with where dialogue has gone in Bethesda games, they've even taken the thinking out of dialogue too. So there's just not a whole lot of evaluated judgments to make anymore. You just kind of go. The only judgment is what direction do you want to walk, and just kind of roll through whatever's in front of you, which is again fine. Mass market is typically not where you go for like a lot of intense thought in any kind of media. So it's expected. But I think for me it's far too on one side of the engagement gradient, I suppose. But there's a total time and a place for those kinds of games too. One of the things I like that I've been thinking about this too is like with Death Stranding. Now that's a game where like the timing factor isn't so critical. You don't have to make decisions quickly, but you do have to make complicated decisions, and you're constantly revising them while you're like sitting around. And yeah, XCOM. So those games are fascinating because it takes the timing element out, but it front loads the complication of the decision. Any strategy game. That's another virtue of JRPGs or turn-based battle systems. Is they're complicated decisions, but you have all the time in the world to plan them and make them. Oh yeah, there is that, Alrock. Sometimes in story games when they put a timer on a decision to like make it more stressful. Reset ventilation system. Okay, good. Oops. Oh, well, that's fine. What? Fuck. That's not fine. I did not know that was going to end that quest. Can you unlock it? I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. My last save was like 30 minutes ago. Dog can eat my ass. He'll be mad about it. Whatever. I'll still do the job anyway. Yeah. I'm just getting an earful about it. Stop it! Wait, who's Dean's? Oh, Dean has a lot of secret stashes. Been playing The Evil Within for the first time. Really fun horror action game. Yeah, I played that a little bit. I saw Steph play it. Gonna be. I feel like that would be a really fun stream game. I should jump into the Evil Within series around October. It goes pretty hard too. That's another one of those games I think got ignored because it just wasn't in vogue. Oh, you found another frame? Hold on, let me check this out. Yuri Koenig, thank you very much for the Prime. Oh. That's a nice photo. See, I provide cheap home accents. All you have to do is watch, and you get fine quality home goods to appoint your place of residence. It's super hard, and it's kind of trippy when the game's trying to portray when it comes to the mind and stuff. Yeah, there was like very Resident Evil, I think on purpose. But yeah, sequences where like there's unkillable monsters chasing you and like stage triggers and stuff you have to hit.
What's your story, beautiful? Was that him floating above the fountain, the boss man? The one who put these bow ties on our necks? Sure does like to make a presentation. We should keep it down, or else the ghost people are going to swarm the gates. Vera hologram or no.
Yeah, let me think. Horror games. Evil Within 1 and 2. I guess Ghostwire Tokyo counts. And then I never played through Alien Isolation. Definitely want to, like, those are the horror games that are on top of my mind that I want to play through. I don't know if would y'all say that Subnautica counts as horror? Vera hologram? The hologram woman?
Yeah, don't you?
Yeah.
Guess Vera Keys got lost along with the rest of the hollow archives when the bomb hit, huh? Ghost in name and image. Still a looker, though. Got to hand it to Sinclair. Sure can pick him. Well, or get picked. Whichever.
Oh, Mortuary Assistant is good. Let me check that out. I saw a clip of somebody playing that, and it did look really good. Yeah. I thought it was called... Isn't there another game coming out, like Autopsy Simulator? It has deep sea monsters. Ugh. Nice. Dave the Diver, that I'm going to be playing here in a second, has some aquatic incidents. I'm excited for that. What's the scariest non-horror game? Huh. Interesting question. Where's the line between horror and suspense thriller? Huh. In movies, it's usually if it's like got good actors in it, it suddenly becomes a thriller. Oh, Bloodborne? That's actually a good answer. Yeah, Outer Wilds. Oh, it's got to be Outer Wilds. Outer Wilds can be low-grade terrifying. Also, Elite Dangerous? Ugh. But Outer Wilds for sure. Like, ugh, going into a black hole or going into like, well, if you know, you know. But the Thorn Planet? I don't get tripped out too much in games, but like, to me, scale. Games can do scale. Like massive, massive, massive scale, and it's kind of trippy. And that's what can get to me. Can you tell me about her?
Vera was a big star back before the bomb.
Yeah, Dark Bramble.
Not the best actress, but
I gotta finish the DLC for Outer Wilds.
other talents.
That was so cool.
Nice voice, nice legs. For some
Dam
reason,
Buster Planet?
Sinclair, he built this place. She caught his eye.
I'm gonna have to remember how to get back there. Oh, it was really creepy.
Had to have her.
Do you have to like take a photo?
And guess
Oh.
what? He builds this place for her like some kind of Cleopatra obsession. Wasn't always a death trap.
The quantum stuff in Outer Worlds 2 was a little... Like there's some kind of weird terror in experimenting with things that just like fuck with the fabric of reality. To think that like you could just take a photo of something or like accidentally get rid of a photo and then your tether to the physical world is just severed and now you're floating in nether space just forever. Some... Have you played Pathological or Pathological 2? Would you recommend it? I haven't played it. I think I haven't. It's one of those that I haven't installed for a long time. Oh yeah, also Requiem. Another, I don't know if it's horror. It's horror, right? Plague Tale. And then the new one coming out.
Of course. What? Some kind of surprise to you that I knew people once? Used to have my name in lights, all right? Knew a dozen Veras or whatever her name was. Vera Keys. Figured I could pay Sinclair back. Introduce the two. Guy was a slouch in the dame department. Had to pick up the slack somehow.
Guy was a slouch in the dame department. Nice. According to the market, you're slated for a spot in Puesta del Sol.
No.
Oh yeah, Stalker
Rooftop in
has some pretty
Puesta del
intense segments.
Sol.
When you're around the like mutants or whatever, or you start seeing them for the first time.
It's the last place anyone wants to stand when this event goes off. That place during spring, summer, and fall, a little bit in winter, is a prime resort spot for ghost people.
Ghost people.
Not the best of neighborhoods. If we're going there, I'm not going alone. And if you have any bright ideas about telling me to stroll over there, or leave me there, no thanks.
Any idea why he wants you there?
Partner, I'm not sure this guy's operating with a full deck. My bet? Process of elimination, lowest common denominator. He figures the strong man's needed somewhere, even if it sounds like the strong man's two minds about it. Plus, I'm guessing wherever old doggy boy's needed doesn't need smarts. I hope not. Or we're royally jonesed.
We're jonesed. What about Christine?
Christine, that her name? Nice name. I mean, you can't see it on posters, but never mind. I don't know. She might need to hold some place where speaking isn't important. Stage tech? Lighting? Got me. And me? I've had prime billing in Europe, New York, and this gig doesn't feel like that. Don't get me wrong, I can hold an audience, conduct a score from the rooftops, but I'm guessing I'm the odd man out in this whole heist.
Oh yeah, you guys were talking about that interview with the Metro. Dimitri, I can't remember his name. Yeah, commenting about how Western apocalypse stories are innately hopeful, and he was like, nah. In Russia, when the end comes, we know it's the end. So that's kind of the Metro thinking, although they did try to... There is... I think for the sake of the Western market, the Western video game market, I think they do try to cram in some hopeful elements into Metro. I still haven't finished Exodus, though. Man, what a game. That's another game where, like, I want... This has happened like 4 times, so I haven't capitalized on it, but I want like a week where nothing's happening. I guess Inside Games is really what busts it up these days, but I want to just dedicate myself to playing through Metro Exodus, just living in that world for a while.
Of course you do.
Know anything about this gala event we're supposed to trigger?
Supposed to be the grand opening of the Sierra Madre. Lots of lights, music, the works. And he's going to use the gala event to open the casino? But that's interesting.
Why, it sure is interesting. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Yeah. Maybe the drain in power.
Are you planning to post more gameplay videos on Inside Games? Not really, no. It's a Patreon goal for now, and that's why we're doing it, but they do so poorly. Nobody wants to watch edited gameplay anymore.
Parker's sphincter when he has to tip a doorman.
So, I think we gotta kind of follow the trends there. We can't, because we pay editors to make it, and those don't make their money back. So, it's fun to do, but at some point it's gotta be a business, and we have to kind of listen to what the audience is saying about what they want to see. Incidentally, they're also saying that they don't necessarily want to see scripted gaming news, but I'm gonna push that anyway because I like it. That's what I want to do. The gala's event is tied into the casino's generators.
Right, look. So, not everything about the villa was the pinnacle of bright ideas. In order to pull off the gala, old Sinclair had to get creative. The Sierra Madre announcement, for example.
How brave?
Not just
Exactly.
The casino, not at all.
The only gaming news show brave enough to continue to produce even though no one asked for it.
Might cause it to reset itself, open the doors for a bit like it was supposed to.
What do you mean about the Sierra Madre broadcast?
Well, Vera's beautiful voice doesn't run on casino power exactly. Her broadcast is tied into the emergency broadcast signal for the Sierra Madre. You know, in case of attack. Well, guess what? The night of the gala event, the emergency signal went out all right. But because the broadcast had been hooked up to the gala event, instead of an emergency signal, you could hear his voice on the radio.
Interesting, okay.
Great, huh?
So, it's not an invitation, it's a call for help.
Yeah, the Sierra Madre's last song, one only a few people are ever going to hear. A little sad, but what can you do?
I really like the end parts of the videos where you'll talk about your own takes on the subject. Yeah, it's weird because that's like the way that we do it is so lopsided, and this kind of gets into more the, well, this is the way I want to do it, but people want opinion, they don't really want information. I'm not accusing anyone in chat of that. But that's entirely what's been demonstrated on YouTube and just in general. They want to feel, they don't want to think. So usually what gaming news is a commentator comes on and they're immediately emotional color, like, look at this bullshit. It's another sad day in the state of gaming today. Tragic, greedy, shitty corporation did another tragic, shitty thing. All right, now let's look at the news. And then they, cut to their Chrome tab where they like click and highlight the headline and like, well, something bad happened, and they like click another, they read another quote, and then it just cuts to another full screen, and then they spend the next 10 minutes sort of giving you their sort of opinion about it. And that's the entertainment that people want. They want content creators they trust telling them how they feel. But yeah, I cram that in at the end because it's not. It could be what we do, but I'd rather not do it that way. Got to differentiate yourself somehow. But what's really fascinating is when people are like, when we report information, and then someone else is like, "This is a bad take," and I'm like, "Oh, it's not a take, it's the data." And then they're like, "Somebody else's take is better." And I'm like, "Man, you." Some people are like so over the rainbow with YouTube content that they don't even think that it's for information anymore. It's purely just to absorb opinions. Which is fine. It's about video games, but still. It's just kind of interesting being in that. And then, yeah, I'm hoping that a company that isn't Sony makes headlines soon. Sony or Activision Blizzard. You don't need any more of that.
Tourists, you bet. They don't stay long.
Most people... I don't think most people want to know information they don't like, which is obviously not a new take, but still sad sometimes. Yeah.
The traps. Then
the usual method of media reporting is you present your conclusion and then you only present the information that supports it, so that the people that came in wanting that opinion validated, that's the satisfaction they get coming out of the video. That's not really what we do. And again, what's weird is I'll see criticisms that like other formats are better when that's the format they use. And yeah, I get it's more satisfying to watch that, but that's not news reporting. So the way that we schedule, or the way that we lay out the show is maybe some jokes that kind of provide some emotional overtone. And typically the jokes do lean into audience held beliefs, but then it's information, like information, as much context as possible, not only the context that supports a crowd-pleasing conclusion. That's what I see a lot of, is kind of like cherry-picking only the bits that support corporation greedy or whatever. You've been playing Multiverses. Not really. I don't know. I'm sure it's fun. I don't really have the bandwidth in my life for a free-to-play game. Creating the I follow this creator because he agrees with me following is really lucrative. Yeah, but what that means is that your opinions then are molded by the audience. You merely just become a loudspeaker. You're like just a mirror, an audio mirror. Because then if you say anything, like if you dare to have an original opinion that your audience disagrees with, that's a violation of your contract with the audience, which is that you're there to validate what they think. So I've seen a lot of content creators get there where they develop an audience by leaning into their predispositions, and then if they actually try to have an opinion about something, they get shouted down because that's not what they're there for, and that's not the product that they said that they would offer. It's interesting. It's an interesting dynamic. What happened to the people who came to the villa? That's right, I'm playing a video game.
Either got killed by
here?
one of the villa's attractions, locals, or the beautiful weather. Can tell you right now, they didn't stick close to each other, and when they did, they let down their guard at the wrong moment. Some left signposts to others trying to help them out.
Well, you gotta be brave and say that Saints Row is actually pretty fun.
By someone a little
Although I'm gonna wait for a patch. I think I saw that Bruce's save got deleted. That is fucked up. Fucked up. If that's the case, then how should one avoid that? If you want to avoid it, I guess just ask yourself Just ask yourself about the media you're taking in, that's all. Ask if, I guess one of the things that gets me is like, when somebody covers something in a certain way, does it benefit them to do that? I see a lot of that on YouTube. Just understanding, like, everyone accuses games journalism, well, they used to accuse games journalists of being biased. The irony is that they are, it's just completely towards the mass audience and what they think. There is every incentive in the world to tell the largest group of people that what they believe is correct. And if you say anything different than that, people call you being biased, but you're not. You're just not biased in the way that they want. Do you think it's a difficult thing to balance, making content you want versus what will trend? I mean, yeah, that's part of YouTube, or part of content creation in general. The audience dictates the whole game because it's what they choose to watch. So yeah, that's, you know, you got to answer to that. Absolutely. Typically, most of that happens in the title and the thumbnail of the video, though. Which is why, on Inside Games at least, the title and the thumbnail burn so hot. The content itself is a bit different, but that's the bait and switch I try to go for. The No didn't feel biased. That's true. They also weren't beholden to anybody. So, I guess that's a way of being unbiased, is to be guaranteed employment regardless of viewership. So then you can just do whatever you want. You can just read the news and that's it. I also know that it can be tricky being female and having an opinion on the internet, so that was probably also a consideration. Oh, having self-awareness is a good start, like knowing your own biases and biases of the people you listen to, understanding those different points of view. Absolutely. Which I think is, you know, maybe another issue in games criticism is that a lot of people get into it only consuming games criticism or games media. So that's the only tone of conversation they know how to have, versus like actually talking with game developers and empathizing with the problems they run into. All right, visitors all killed each other?
Sure. First they figure they can get out, escape.
Oh, you found us through the No, wow.
Then they start thinking it over.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Thinking about how they can have it all. They start weighing the odds, taking risks, and then taking each other out. Bum collars or not. Although
I'm very humbled you decided to stick around, Morgie.
Collars weren't linked before like they are now. Guess someone learned what the problem was.
Some games are for people and some aren't. Any advice for getting through this?
Well, considering my life's on the line too, yeah. A few things. First off, keep everyone together.
Didn't do that.
Keep checking behind you. Make sure your partners are following. Don't let them wander.
Oh, you were really into Sugar Pine 7 after SourceFed ended?
Almost every inch of
There were a couple of really good years there.
So if you're not sure, take it real slow.
Kind of the twilight of YouTube,
Real
really.
slow. Don't go shouting or attracting attention. Go quiet. The ghost people find you, it's over.
The ghost people. Oh, you didn't know the No was originally Inside Games? So it wasn't. All right, so here's the timeline. Adam made a variety news show about Halo called Inside Halo in early machinima. He found that there wasn't that much Halo news to talk about on a week-to-week basis, so he changed it to Inside Gaming and just kind of talked about general news topics. Made it a daily live news show around 2010, I want to say. Yeah, 2011. It just kind of did its thing for a while. That's kind of when I started providing show notes for it. I wasn't fully scripting yet. I would just provide like stories and bullet points and stuff. And then Bruce got hired on, and then became the producer for Inside Gaming. And under his production, the show really blew up. He had the eye for like titling things a certain way and changed it from like a variety news show to just doing one story so that we had a really strong title and headline kind of stuff. we were doing so well with that. These were conversations I wasn't a part of, but had heard about secondhand. They talked about going over to Rooster Teeth because we were pretty unhappy at Machinima. And then Rooster Teeth already had a gaming news show called The Know. And again, it's secondhand, but it was expressed to me that we were being brought on to help that show because it was just kind of doing its thing. It wasn't really growing, and we were making the #1 news show on the internet. So then that's how we started working on The Know. And then AT&T or Warner bought Machinima. So the same parent company that we used to work for now owned the brand that we used to work on. So when Ashley left Rooster Teeth, they decided to change the branding back to Inside Gaming since we had the original crew. And then we started making it again. But that was a lot of work, a lot of thankless, shitty work. So I quit and decided to make my own called Inside Games, legally distinct news show. So yeah, I switched to, oh wait. Remember watching The Know and saying to check out the Funhaus channel? I switched over and seeing everyone drinking and Rahul arguing with Jack Sparrow while a ska band is playing loudly. Yeah, that's a pretty good, Talking Stockings is pretty peak Funhaus content. You ever think about expanding your horizons creatively, like making music or art or anything? I would say that the way that takes form for me is the newsletters that I send out, which has kind of gotten thrown off lately. I would write short stories, or I still do, and send them out once a week. I've started recording them for YouTube, but that has slowed down. That has changed the process quite a bit, so I'm gonna have to figure out a new flow to make sure that works. But yeah, kind of experimental short stories that I do. I've been sending those out since I went independent for almost 2 years now.
Alive's a tricky word. The locals, the ghost people, not sure it applies to them. They're a little uncivilized. They don't talk much. As in, at all.
Have you tried to deal with them?
Tried talking to them, bribing them, leaving food. Nothing. In the years since, they haven't changed their approach, but I sure have. They catch you, they drag you into the cloud, and you're not coming back out. After that, having your necktie go off would be mercy. My advice? Stay out of their way. They don't die easy.
You should have someone do an illustration for each story. They make no money. So... Sure. Do you know somebody who wants to do illustrations for free? And has like a 1-day turnaround? Your delivery on those news videos is what originally drew me to you. You spoke about the topics with a calm intelligence that made me feel like I was watching something worthwhile when one of my roommates would walk in and see what I was watching. So much gaming news content is hyper-pog, and I appreciate the way you handled yourself on camera. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I don't quite see the value in like, just like the histrionics of some gaming media stuff is just a little much, but it works. I mean, people like it. I think it's kids, to be honest. Kids like adults acting like buffoons about video games. It's been interesting to see like the kid audience move off of YouTube and see the kinds of content that suddenly just stopped getting views. That's been really interesting to me. Now that they're on TikTok or wherever else. How tough are they?
You shoot them, they get back up. You stab them, they get back up. That's why I have explosives all over this place.
Explosives.
Unless you blow them up, chop them up, disintegrate them, the ghost people don't go down.
Stick them in a stew.
Not enough bullets in the town to spend on them. So unless you're a real good shot, save one for yourself right before they catch you.
I'm not a bad shot. I could probably kill one.
Yeah, well, probably is.
Thank you, Ruckus.
Gambler says, not a survivor. I'd keep your pistol where it belongs, in the holster.
Oh, thank you, Chills. Damn. Thank you very much. Where did they come from?
Friend, there's more mysteries in heaven and earth. Wait, no. There is more between heaven and earth. Oh, forget it. I'd sooner ask what makes me an undying son of a bitch than spend any thought as to why they crawl to life here. I'm counting myself lucky I still have my faculties. They sure don't. Then again, they may not have had the focus I do.
Are you on, let's see, are you on TikTok with 60-second news show or highlights, or is it just YouTube shorts? It's just YouTube shorts. It's clips from the stream. Edited out. I've wondered if like Inside Games would, in any format, would work for TikTok. Maybe. It's just more of an edit for very little return. There's very little money in TikTok right now. So really it's throwing your content in front of just a gang of children just for the sake of building a following, just in case you can make money on it later. It's kind of where TikTok is now. I'm sure if you're in fashion or style or anything else, anything but gaming, there's probably direct sponsorship opportunities, but I don't know where those are in TikTok. Maybe it's for mobile, I bet. McDoodley, thank you for the Prime. If I were up to my chin in gacha mobile games, I could probably bankroll some stuff on TikTok, but as an independent business creator, it's you gotta watch your time and what you spend money on.
Always had the Sierra Madre to keep my mind occupied. Most folks, they don't have the same drive, the same need. Not worth my time. Pretty much ghost people before the bomb, now ghost people after.
Is there anything about them I should know?
Whatever we do, don't rile them up. Normally there's only a few, maybe a pack. There's more out there, a lot more. If they find out someone's trespassing, it'd be shaking a hornet's nest. Don't want to think how many of them could fill these streets.
News isn't hyper profitable anywhere online, is it? Not really. No. Because whatever format is like, you're still at the whim of algorithmic shit. And people like a good laugh more than they like informative content.
It's your time, and if you want to spend it chatting, not much I can do about it.
Yeah, James, that's the whole game. Like right now the only reason to be on TikTok is to hopefully drive people off of TikTok to another platform where their their time is a little more valuable. YouTube or Twitch, basically. Even YouTube's not that valuable anymore. Would you ever do an educational video about how video games work or explaining how video games mechanics and systems work? Yeah, I've thought about it. That's a lot of work and research. Those videos can do super well. I found one of your stashes. Why do you leave them around the villa?
Why?
What's the platform then? For gaming, Twitch.
I still needed to leave the residential area.
There's really no competition. If you can get above water on Twitch, the effort to revenue is the best.
So I left weapons and stims in case
It's the video game version of podcasting.
Of course you show up putting your mitts on everything. I suppose this qualifies as an emergency, so I'm not complaining much.
That's also one of the things that makes it challenging to create any other kind of content is you could spend an hour doing prep for something else. You could spend an hour writing a script or spend an hour sending emails to people trying to get together a team to make a project, or you could just spend an hour on Twitch and make more money than that hour would eventually pay off hundreds of hours down the road. Fashion brands are getting away with free marketing in overwhelming numbers on TikTok currently. They send a creator a gift who then turns around and makes a video about said gift. Creator gets no money, brand gets a ton of reviews for basically nothing. Yeah, that's where it was always going to go. People are desperate enough to be creators and get paid for that they'll do it for free. I mean, that's kind of always been the case. It's always going to be a trade-off of mass sending people free t-shirts versus a more elevated deal with a specific creator that has a following and an ability to influence a lot of people at one point. Yeah.
I still need to eat. At least
Oh yeah, Sakurai's channel?
the villa provides.
Kind of reminds me, well, I haven't seen it yet, but Iwata Asks was a column that would delve deeply into game design mechanics with game developers.
To experiment.
So I feel like that might be in the vein of that a little bit.
Well, here's the mix, if you can stomach it. I call it a Sierra Madre Martini.
How do you make it?
Scrape some cloud residue off the walls, mash it in a tin can with some junk food from the machines, then hold your nose and down it. There's electric hot plates around if you can't find a campfire to mix it at. Also, there's other recipes you can do with the cloud residue, although it might...
Oh, Mega64 made the comparison too? I haven't even seen Iwata's channel yet. It just reminded me of that on the surface. I love it when developers make resources to try to share their craft with people.
I'd shed a tear. Don't, Well, now, if it is...
He had more to say, I'm sure. Tell me about the cloud.
The cloud showed up after the bomb, I think. I got used to it in small doses. Now it covers the city. Over the years, it kept climbing up out of the Sierra Madre until it was curtains for the sun.
I actually need to get some water.
Sky again.
But I'm going to do that after I set Domino to chatting again.
Can't see through it too well, though, so sometimes I can use the cloud for cover.
Game Maker's Toolkit? Yeah. Delves deeply into game designs and mechanics on how Metroid is laid out with the power-ups and doors and backtracking. Yeah, it's very cool. I mean, that's talking about the illusion of gaming, though. It is like looking at how the magic trick is done. But on one hand, for some people, that ruins the magic trick, but for others, it really heightens the appreciation of the performance craft. Like, it's possible to be in the audience and see the magic trick and go like, yay, magic! And then to learn about the trick later and be like, oh, wow, that's really cool. Like, that's so neat that people figured all that out and could pull it off like that. Same thing with game design, I think. It's so cool to live on both sides. To like, have the smoke and mirrors and be like, wee! And then, like, appreciate all the hard work and expertise that went into creating that moment. How do you feel about theater? Like, live theater? I have a personal distaste of like bohemian shit, of a very theatric, like theater kid kind of energy. I don't know what it is. It's just something in me. My DNA just boils against it. That said, I really do appreciate live theater and how it can, like, it does require a certain level of expertise and craft mastery to be able to put on those productions every night and like really put it all out there every night to perform for an entire group of people and to keep them all enraptured. Like, without a camera, without any of that stuff. With like audio, yeah, sure, but anyway. What can you tell me about the villa in the town? I'm gonna get water.
Residential area, clinic, police station. Should keep away from the police station. It's a ghost people hangout. Salida del Sol, Puesta del Sol are East Town, West Town. Sunrise and sunset. Or were when the streets and sky weren't covered with toxic gas. Ghost people don't come into the villa much. West Town and East Town, though, they're thick with the cloud and ghost people.
All right, what'd he say?
Hunting ground.
Catch me up, everybody. All right. Whatever. Let's get out of here.
All right, then. I'll just wallflower it over here.
Police station bad. Villa not as bad. Okay, am I going to the police station? I think I am.
Little gifts.
He said you're a stupid butt and you smell like a big butt and your butt stinks. Oh, God. How does he know about my butt? Christine's looking natural.
Head through the hole in the wall there. If we go grinding down here.
Yeah, she's... Her reveal was pretty special. Black sun. Oh no, it's red sun. What am I thinking? Red sun. Ah! And the backstab. Whoa! I gotta sneeze.
Sierra Madre is not getting any younger.
Oh, that was a good sneeze. Oh. Oh. Yeah, that's good stuff. Darn it. While I was getting water, I was like, do I need to use the restroom? I'm already stepping away to get water. I can't push it too far. And I was like, nah, I'm fine. It's just a little trickle. It's fine. And then I sneezed. And now it's knocking at the gates. Oh, goodness. Dean! Control yourself, man.
Don't dive in for too
Yeah.
so much I can do to help.
I gotta run through there, maybe? Red zone. Nope.
Be wanting more.
My guy got it. Oh, wait. Dean protects you from the toxins? It seems like it. Anyway. I'll be right back. Good thing is Donna Summer, I think. Donna Summer is waiting for you. So I'll be right back. Hey, Alrock, saying disco just repeats the hook a million times? Yeah, dude, you gotta dance to it. You can't be mixing up the beat and throwing people to a weird bridge and stuff, and they got a good bop going, got a good funk. I don't like disco, but I think the danceable bass patterns have done a lot, have echoed through eternity in a good way. Also, without disco, we wouldn't have ABBA, so think about that. Or we wouldn't have some of ABBA's best songs. Speaking of stage, I haven't seen Mamma Mia. I think I'm ready for it, though. I think Mamma Mia is a movie that I would have hated 20 years ago. No, 15 years ago. Probably. Oh yeah, let me check my stats. What kind of ABBA fan are you? I'm a pretty surface level ABBA fan. Only recently have been getting into it. The band. Like listening to their full albums. I'm not a big ballads fan. I gotta admit, I'm just not. They don't move me, really. To me, that's like the kind of theatrics that just don't hit. Yeah. But I like their disco shit. I like their dance tracks a lot. I think their pop dance stuff has such cool musicality to it. Pierce Brosnan singing saves everything. Yeah, Steph actually watched it when we were flying back from Dallas. She said that Pierce Brosnan singing was A-okay. But that what's her name? The lead, the mom. I can see her face. Not Susan Sarandon. God damn it! One of the acting legends. Oh, is she not top billed? Get out of here. Meryl Streep. Jeez, there we go. Yes, Meryl Streep. Yeah, that her singing was it spirited, but maybe not the best. I don't know. I'll see. I feel like if it's okay to sing poorly to any band, it's ABBA. Like, it's fine. As long as you sing with spirit and soul, it doesn't matter the notes you hit. Within reason. Ooh, I thought it would show up here. The follower perk. What? There you are. Well, it said I was getting protected, so let's see if that's true. Yeah, Dean is protecting me. Okay.
The switching station. That's where you'll need to bring the mute.
Eh? That's not who I have, though. Oh, speaking of classic cinema and legendary actors, I finally watched Bachelor Party. which is like made me think a lot. Like it was actually kind of good. It was actually kind of a good movie. And I usually don't really like party films. I guess it managed to not be as morally devoid as most movies like that. I don't know what to think. I'm all twisted up. But it's definitely a movie that like just wouldn't even count as comedy anymore. People would not be okay with that movie coming out if it were to. Not because they'd be offended, they'd just be like, this is too low quality, like this isn't funny. Yeah, Tom Hanks. And it featured 2 Oingo Boingo tracks I'd never heard.
Section of town. So let's see about.
Oh, is this where the ghosts are? Oh, there he goes. No, maybe not. Ha! Don't do that! Oh! Yeah. Tom Hanks is a party guy. He's a manic pixie dream guy, actually, in that movie. Also watched all of The Bear before it sounded like I only consume drivel. God damn you! Get down here. Oh! Thank you. Huh. Watched Morbius on a plane. A plane is the perfect place to watch Morbius. I've watched The Mummy, the Tom Hanks Mummy, 4 times. Only one of them was with audio, because I always just put it on. Like, when it was in plane rotation, it's the only thing I would put on when I was on a plane. Usually, like, it was just on as, like, background whatever while I was playing a Switch. So I could look up and be reminded of Lieutenant Nick Morton, I think was his name. I don't know if I got the rank right. And Mummy, he's Mummy now. Is Splash good? See, Splash is one of those movies that I loved when I was a kid. Loved it. I don't know if that means it's good or not, but that probably means there's something to it. Most of the things I liked as a kid had some weird creative spirit that I resonated with. I remember liking that, and then the Robin Williams Popeye from what's that guy's name? The guy who directed it. It's weird. I watched Popeye again recently. Not only is Robin Williams just like fucking trying like so hard in that movie, peak effort. Holy cow. But the director, I was like watching it and I was like, this is weird because like all these shots are crazy zoomed out, which is cool because they did a lot of set work. Did I move my setup? No. So pretty much where it's always been. There's new lights in the plant. The gamer plant has been upgraded yet again. But I remember looking up the director and then reading that one of the director's signatures is doing kind of more zoomed out shots to show actors in their environment. This basically looks like Metal Gear Rising right now. Man, peak game. I gotta get back to the DLC in that game. I get excited when I get to remember that there's more Metal Gear Rising I haven't played. Man, they're dumping experience on me. Metal Gear series when? Probably pretty soon, actually. I've been thinking about Metal Gear a lot. Been in my brain. I've never played MSX Metal Gear, and I should. Kind of funny. Thank you for the raid. Hello, everybody. I'm smarter than a 5th grader. Oh, Robert Altman directed Popeye. Okay. Yeah. It's a striking thing about Popeye when you watch it is just how wide a lot of the camera shots are. Which again, I think works because a lot of the opening of the movie is so like world setting to show more of the world just makes sense. Kind of reminds me of the opening of Kung Fu Hustle. Just like sequences in movies that establish a quirky but idyllic village, you know? With like plucky music and various characters doing their things. Kind of like a kid's book. Of just like, there's the butcher doing the butcher thing. There's the guy cutting hair. There's somebody like cleaning clothes. Grumbling about the weather, yeah. Anyway, welcome everybody from Kind of Funny. Hopefully you're all having a great morning, or afternoon, or evening. Whatever it is for you, I hope it's great. I'm playing, I've dialed up the sex factor in Fallout New Vegas a little bit, not gonna deny. You know, you gotta throw the beef out on Twitch every so often if you wanna catch a little fish. You know what I'm saying? I'm playing through the DLC, Sierra Madre DLC in, Fallout New Vegas right now. And I'm looting. You better believe it. Click. You having a good day? Good day? You know what's good when you spell it good. That was the best sneeze. Pretty top tier random life event is just hearing a random sneeze. Just echoing on the wind.
But you guys...
I have no idea where it came from. You weren't expecting it. You know what it is the second you hear it.
You're at the gold scaler area. Now make him stay.
So, this is where I'm supposed to put on the show. Played better venues, let me tell you. What's that there? Wiring? Looks like it's tied to the sound system in the villa. Except for that snipped section there. So, what? I stand here, hold the two ends in my hands and tap them together like cymbals?
Oh yeah, Shelley Duvall and Popeye. Yeah, like what other... How perfect is that casting? How perfect is that? And you wouldn't have guessed that, like... I guess that era Robin Williams would have been a long shot. But the second you see his, like, eye, his one eye, his piercing blue eye, you're just like, oh shit. How is this movie so perfect? And also, like, Shelley Duvall spends half the movie just making the most perfect distressed olive oil sounds. Ow, ow, ow. Just like... Just constantly in peril. Then they fight a giant octopus or squid or something. Man, what a movie. What a movie, Jesus Christ. Having to make all that stuff in real life, film it underwater, ugh. Whatever, you just do it in post now. Let's see here. If reconnecting the speakers is part of the gala event, yes.
Look, I strike up the speaker system. There's going to be ghosts.
You're gonna make me do something for him?
Any change in the sounds around here? The ghost people are not big on talking. They are big on listening. Hunting. Killing. More vicious than music critics, trust me.
Saw an interview where Williams was unhappy with the outcome. Really? I wonder what vision he had for it. Or how he hoped it would come out. Unless he just means like the actual look of kind of some of the set pieces. Because by the end of the movie, yeah, they're wrestling with a big dummy thing underwater. It's pretty clear to see, but I think that, I mean, it's a goofy comic, so it works. Have you seen Double Team? It's the one with Van Damme and Dennis Rodman. I think I've seen it a long time ago. I should watch it again. There was a hot minute there where Dennis Rodman was like getting cast and stuff. And he had some pretty interesting energy on camera. All right, what's it gonna take?
Take? It's not going to take anything because you couldn't offer me anything to stay here. The ghost people will come out of the woodwork when the gala event starts blaring, and when they see me trapped up here, it's curtains for Dean.
Yeah. I hope I get a phase in my life where I get to be an old thespian walking around with like an ascot, becoming offended at the smallest things. Oh, stale coffee. Oh. I want to indignantly scream that I performed King Lear. I guess you have to have done that to have the rights to do it. If I clear out all the ghost people in the area, will that change your mind?
No, you want to know why? Because there's more beneath the streets, in the buildings, and no, everywhere else.
Practice makes perfect,
They hear
yeah.
anything out of the
Can't give up.
ordinary, especially music screaming through the speakers when I close the connection, they'll be here fast.
Ooh, it feels wrong for Mac's brain to be able to science a problem, but I'm going to. The villa has holograms everywhere if I switch on some to cover the area.
Well, yeah. If the hologram system still worked, that'd do the trick. Okay, all right. You call up some of those old world stiffs. That'd be an audience I wouldn't mind having below.
Okay, let me reactivate the holograms.
If I remember correctly, there should be 2 holograms you can switch on in the area. Just don't remember how. Do that, and I'll consider waiting on the rooftop. Maybe.
Yeah, this is interesting. DLC is interesting because it's like it doesn't really benefit from being surrounded by a bunch of other content. Let's see.
Don't dive in for too long.
Oh yeah, Rex isn't around. That's not his name. Dean. I smell a red sun behind the corner. I smell combat. Damn it. Damn it. Is it? It's not on him, is it? Okay, this might be it. Hey! Well, I'm afraid to save now. Dang it. Over there. I was hoping I could just follow it around.
Crouching as hell on my knees. Watch the ground for bear traps.
Hey, he made it.
In the openings for tripwires.
Paradise. How many mods you got running right now? It's probably in the 20-something range. I'm not going for mass. I'm gonna be honest. I want to play the game, and New Vegas is it's a little rickety. Just in the best of circumstances, so I'm trying not to push my luck with the mod load. I just have those bouncing natural jugs. Oh, there's a ghost. Interesting. Did I go mess with it? All right. Dean's free now, so I'm gonna save. Hey, nerd. Oh, that's a hologram. Never mind. I got tricked. Maybe you have to be up here.
Sierra Madre may wait, not me.
Yeah. King Lear. Ooh.
Hey, don't dive in for too long. Only so much I can do.
I don't know if I'm supposed to be in here. I thought this would somehow loop around, but... Todd Howard has yet again made a fool out of me. Todd! Oh. Think this game is better than 4? It depends what you want. I'm gonna take the wiener answer, the non-committal one. I think there's a lot of ways that 4 is a smoother experience and probably a cleaner path to certain kinds of gameplay elements. But in terms of its story and writing and stuff, I think this is This is way more interesting. I remember, let's see here. I remember the robot detective man. I'm trying to think of all the characters I remember from 4. What the heck is going on with this room?
Sierra Madre may wait, not me.
I don't think I remember anyone else. I really didn't play Fallout 4 that much. I played it enough to realize it wasn't really my thing. Dogmeat? Dogmeat was in 4? Yeah, I guess he was. Oh no. Am I stuck in here? Trapped? There we go. Okay. How do I get over there? There's another door, but it's not a zone transition. From above, maybe?
What's next?
Good question. Yeah, I see that there's just like a terminal in there. That's the words are broken there, really implying that that's where you need to go. But there's nothing there. Is there a way? Maybe if I'm up there, I can drop down here. Let me see. All right, it's not this way.
When in doubt, stick quiet.
I'm trying to remember.
And watch where.
Yeah, it's over here. So double team, double impact. Wait, what's the Rodman Van Dam? I have a hard time believing that they would share the camera well. Especially if this is like coked up Van Damme era. Okay, I've forgotten how to get back. This whole other area though? What the heck? Oh no.
Nice spot for sunning. Well, the sun never touched here.
I was hoping I'd get away from it. Didn't. Need to grind so much PvP in 14. New season has awesome rewards. I haven't looked because I don't want to be tempted. Although playing PvP would probably make me better at the game. Okay, let's see. Okay, I did come out up there. Yeah. Okay, here we go. That's how you're supposed to do it. So, wait a minute. What are you supposed to do? I don't think you can get through there. Like PvE better than PvP? I do too.
Hell on my knees.
That's why I didn't feel a whole lot of obligation to try to pick up the PvP too much. What the heck? Oh. Through here maybe? Oh, no, wait. This is just, yeah, back here. there any way through here? No? Oh. Extreme trials are your favorite thing?
What's next?
I haven't completed the main quest in New Vegas yet, no. Not yet. Someone had suggested that I do the DLC first, so that's what I'm doing. Although I'm being laid low by a very simple puzzle. You get up there, maybe? What's up, Mahi? Maybe there's a door. Oh, there's no way that you're supposed to abuse that. But I'll do it. I'll freaking do it. I don't care. I'm not too proud. Clipping your way into areas is a Bethesda game staple. Alright, let's see if I can freaking surf this balcony. Oh! No! Oh, God, it's hard to jump on a downslope. You like catch air. Damn it. Ugh.
Sierra Madre is not getting any younger.
Maybe you loop around? Oh! Jeez. Maybe there's like... There's zone transition on the other side, maybe? It doesn't look like it, though. This is so confusing.
I can help you with the cloud, not for long,
Maybe, maybe it is through the store? Because that's the one place you can go when you drop down from up here. I don't know how, though, because it's like across the street.
One of us knows what you're doing.
I don't know about that. There's just nothing up here? Darn it. Why isn't there a magical tunnel going where I need? It really feels like there's just like a ramp around some corner that I'm not seeing. So there's this other exit. What's that all about? Oh yeah, that's right. Just this empty room. Alright, that's all that this connects through to, though. I think. There's nothing else.
Next.
Yeah, there's just this locked door I can't open. This is one of those weird places to get stuck. Just like, this is dumb. This is dumb. Hey, Albert. Thank you very much for the resub and for the 36 months of subs. That is awesome. 3 years. Well, I dinged out of it, so that's good. A lot of hard gaming in those 3 years, and a lot of hard gaming to come. Sure, whatever. I'm just taking whatever at this point. This New Vegas DLC kind of sucks. Everybody lied to me. Yeah, no, people have actually warned me about that. They're like, maybe this one's not the hottest. Maybe I can just Snaking around. Ugh. Yeah, I could tag lockpick. I thought about that, but I don't like that. Shouldn't be necessary, right? There's got to be something I'm missing here. I don't see. I can. Don't see another door or anything.
Not me.
This is not an openable door. Can't really jump from anything. You got something to say? You got some advice?
Well, now, if it is...
No. Yeah, script. If you have a suggestion, by all means.
Sierra Madre may wait.
Because I don't know what to do here. Hit me up with them gaming tips. I'll take them. Yeah, the pro strats. Absolutely. Where the heck? There might be a very roundabout way of getting up there. Yeah, that's all I can figure. But that, I guess, just means I need to start exploring everywhere, because I have no idea what it might connect to or how. Let's see. But yeah, you're right. I need to maybe back off and just start looking around other places. Okay, so there's 2 ways to get up here. If I could get up there, I'd be set, but I don't think I can make that jump. Ugh. And furthermore, it really doesn't look like that's the intended path in any way.
Where there's a bear trap, ghost people aren't far.
The roof with the wire is where I remember the next section triggers, if I remember correctly. Roof with the wire. Okay. The wire on the floor is important. Oh. Well, I had the conversation with him. I turned on one of the holograms. Now I have to get into that room to turn on the other one. I don't know how to do that. Well, one way or the other, we're going to switch in games here in just a second.
I can help you in the cloud, not for long though.
Today's stream is sponsored by Dave the Diver, a combo sea exploration sushi store operation game. You dive into the ocean, you catch the fish, you take them back to your restaurant, you prep and serve them. So I'm all about it. I'm all about like the dual nature of that. Furthermore, I love fishing games and I love cooking games. So, perfect. Yeah, Dave would have a store like that, right? Oh, Dave. You're always diving. There's no way. No, don't let me just climb up the tree. Ugh. You see what you did? Do you see what you did, Todd? Okay, I don't think they're gonna let me get away with it. Or will they? Hold on. Try this one. Oh, Loof, it's just, the command is just Dave. They had a demo out, but it was a Gamescom demo, so it's no longer available. Ooh, the Mystique. So if you're interested, please wishlist the game. That's the request from the sponsor. Just drop a little wishlist. Okay, I'll start exploring a little further away. If I can get on top of this, then I can drop down from there. But that's like all the way up there. And that's kind of, I would assume, starting to... It's usually they don't let you do that. Get that close to the skybox. Oh, the flickering hologram stares at you expectantly. Bye-bye, light person. Ooh. Hologram still working? That's a pretty good trick, though. Putting those chips everywhere. Okay, maybe we're onto something here. Maybe we're onto something. All right, let's check it out. What? What? They lied. The lies. Why would they lie? Why did the game developers lie to me and not put a... There's not a transition icon on the map. Damn it. I assumed that door didn't open because there's not an icon on it. Game developers, how could you?
Always here.
They promised. Well, whatever. Solid advice, though. Sorry about the sniffle in the mic there. I just got a crazy nose itch all of a sudden. Jeez. Just need some lateral thinking. That's all.
Ball, chain, and dog collar rolled all into one.
I'll never forget this, Todd. Never, ever will I forgive you. Both holograms are on now. It's safe to get to your position.
You powered the holograms up? Well, yeah, that's pretty good protection. Sure worked at the fountain. Vera kept the ghost people away. But, how do I know the power won't suddenly go out? And, I don't know, this still sounds risky to me. For me.
Oh boy. Yeah, I'll haggle. Dean seems like a haggling guy. I'm not about to trade your life for mine, got it? Remember the collars.
Well, yeah. You got a point. But listen, when this thing goes off, try and get into the Sierra Madre without me. You'll wish you hadn't.
Sneezes and sniffles, that can't be a good sign. Well, I did go to an outdoor concert. There was a lot of cigarette smoke and dust. One of those where like I came home and blew my nose and it was just like black shit. And I've just been kind of, it's been storing itself in my sinuses ever since. So I gotta wait for it to all slough out. A freaking cantaloupe, thanks for the resub. What am I on now? Okay. Gotta take poor Christine. Natural Christine. Christine is looking at the fountain, eyes narrowed. She scans the perimeter, gauging the distance. She glances at your wrist, then back at the fountain. Oh, I'm not smart enough. That's the hologram projector in the fountain. What of it? She rolls her eyes, opens her mouth to speak, then stops, her face tensing in frustration. She circles her finger around the fountain and moves her fingers and thumbs together rapidly as if talking. She frowns, stops moving her head, then points at the Pip-Boy at your wrist. Let's see here. Show her the Pip-Boy. Christine studies the Pip-Boy intently, turning around your arm as if you're a wrist sensor module she just found. She doesn't seem interested in the screen. She studies the exterior, then the casing. She seems to be making sure it's intact. Wait. Her finger stabs through the red buttons, narrowing on the local map. She scrolls to the serum. She calls up the local map, Puesto del Sol switching station, zooms in. Her expression loses some of its edge. She looks up at you, points at your marker, and Pip-Boy points west and tilts her head. Ooh, this goes fast. What do you think? Why do you think he wants you to go to the Puesto del Sol switching station? She frowns, then makes a motion as if typing a keys. She points at you, raises her left wrist, and pantomimes talking into it. She points at you, then her, looks right, then left, raises two fingers, tries to type, pauses, slowly shakes her head. Intelligence 1 out of 6. I can only type with 2 fingers. She sighs silently, then shakes her head and motions to the west. Defeated. Medicine 12. That autodoc really carved you up. She frowns and narrows her eyes and looks at you. Aw. Golly, you're messed up. Looks like someone set the bone saws to run random. She shakes her head, then pauses and shakes her head again, and then looks exasperated. The autodoc didn't do that? She touches one of the scars on her cheeks, shakes her head, then touches a scar on her neck and nods. So the autodoc cut your voice box, not your scalp. She nods. BOS. You were a Brotherhood of Steel scribe? She nods. She looks impressed. Huh. That's interesting. Is that just because I've done Brotherhood of Steel quests? Never seen a check like that before. Were you researching something? She shakes her head. She shakes her head and makes a motion of 2 fingers walking. You were looking for someone? She nods and raises a finger. Woman? She shakes her head, then stops midway, frowns, tilts her head, as if thinking. She seems lost in thought for a moment. Glances at you, as if caught. She smiles slightly, but there's an edge to it. Then she shakes her head slowly once. Man? She nods. She makes a motion with her hands around her chin, drawing it down, then she raises her hands and clenches them at the sky. An angry, bearded man. She points at your Pip-Boy. Oh. You were looking for a man in a vault. She shakes her head and points to your Pip-Boy again. The man on the Pip-Boy holotape, Elijah? She nods, looks concerned, taps the side of her head, and expands her hands. Someone smart. She nods, then circles her ear. And nuts. She nods and frowns. So why would you waste your time looking for him? Pauses, looks at you for a second, then shrugs and shakes her head. Okay. I had other questions. Oh God. Things would be a lot easier if you did snap 1 for yes, 2 snaps for no. She smiles humorlessly, then nods once slowly. She shakes her head slowly. She looks at you, her face wrinkled in a humorless smile. Perception 1 out of 6. What are you shaking and nodding for? Fails. She looks frustrated, then makes a dismissive wave. Oh, Jesus. Fine, be a bitch then. Holy shit, dude. That's the worst possible dialogue. Oh, these are all bad answers, though. I'm not the one trying to communicate with hand motions. Jesus Christ. I can't do it. I can't. This nodding, frowning, and pointing you do is wearing me out. Oh no. Christine nods, frowns, then points at you, then points west, then she glares at you. Wants to go west. How did you end up in the autodoc? She moves her finger in a circle, frowns, then drags her hand down over her eyes. She raises them again, then points to you. You get gassed like I did. She nods, raises an eyebrow, points to you, makes a circle, then points at your feet. What about my feet? She repeats the circling motion again. This time she lowers her hand and circles her finger inward until she's pointing at the spot between you. Still pointing at the ground between you, she raises an eyebrow. Followed a radio signal here, a woman's voice. She waits after a second, she raises her eyebrow again. Oh, Couldn't even tell you why, I just did. That's a pretty max brain move. She looks at you for a second, studying you, then nods. She points at you, then points at the casino. She slowly shakes her head, and then points in the direction of the main gate. You're saying it's one or the other. She frowns, glances in the direction of the casino, then the exit, then back in the direction of the casino. She shrugs, without strength or conviction. She isn't looking at you when she does. If I could leave, I would. She looks at you for a moment, glances at your collar, shrugs, then she lightly grabs her neck with both hands and holds it for a moment. Her hands fall away, she looks back at you, she looks at the exit and nods. Goodbye. Alright. Cool. Oh wait, I have to... Whoop! Gotta have her follow me, actually. But, there we go. Cool. All right. Well, let me look away from sweet Christina for a second while I announce it's time to click over into Dave the Diver, This is the sponsor of today's stream. And they have a Steam page. And if the game sounds or looks interesting to you, they request that you go and put it on your wish list. But I'll switch over to it, and I'll be right back. See you guys in just a second.